Hello and welcome to Talking Games. Just finished West Ham United 3, Crystal Palace 2, 3 wins in a row for West Ham. They went behind quite early. Mike's just 6 minutes it took for Palace to turn up and sort of be the party poopers, if you like. A long free kick in. Tompkins beats Masuaku for some reason in the air. No one reacts. Sex MacArthur, who prods it past Fabianski. It's 1-0, and we're all thinking, well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I never got the sense, even in those first 6 minutes, or indeed in any of the game, that they were better than us. Let's get that clear. But you just feared at that point that they were going to score that kind of goal. Who knows why Masuaku is marking Tompkins to start with, and but like you just feared that they were going to be able to sit back and defend that one goal and be impenetrable. We have had slight issues earlier in the season breaking down teams that sit deep, you know. So yeah, I was worried at that moment in time, I must admit.
And Charlie, against Cardiff, we had to be patient. We were getting a bit frustrated, breaking them down. And it was very much the same again for the first half, if you like, today.
Yeah, I thought we were sort of, I don't know, it's weird because there were certain bits and pieces where it looked like it was beginning to click, but it just didn't happen anywhere near as consistently as it did in that first like half an hour against Cardiff, where we were just passing it so nicely and the link-up play was so good. And I can't quite figure out why. Maybe it's because Palace got that early goal and were able to just sit back and just absorb anything that we came at them. But that's what Cardiff did for the entire game. And yeah, it was a bit disappointing. We've said before that we're never quite sure what West Ham's going to turn up at the moment, whether it be the really good one or the really bad one. And today is sort of somewhere in the middle in that first half. I thought we were just sort of a bit dead and lifeless.
Charlie, Palace hit the bar at the end of the first half as well. What was your thoughts at halftime? I mean, the Perez and Hernandez thing didn't work exactly, but there wasn't much working though.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people speaking about those two specifically, but I think it was a team-wide issue. I don't think anyone had a particularly great first half. You can argue one or two people, but I felt like we needed a change up in that. People just didn't. The people who have been most consistent, someone like Snodgrass, who seems to be really, really consistent at the moment, even he just didn't show up. And I think it was clear that the team needed something to change at half time, be it shape, be it personnel, or be it just attitude, because there were certain times where it felt really, really lifeless.
Mike, what did you make at halftime? What were you thinking at the break?
I agree with Johnny, really. I thought Palace weren't very good. Yeah, and I thought we were much better. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they were worthy of being a goal up. On the other hand, we haven't created anything really of note. I felt that I thought that we just when we talked at the preview, I thought after what I should have said is we'll win as long as we show up, you know. And I just thought we hadn't showed up in that first half. It was like we hadn't. They were there for the taking, Palace, but we clearly in the first half hadn't bothered to turn up to take them, so to speak. But obviously Pellegrini's had a word at half time, and you got to love that manager, haven't you?
I think there was just a lack of responsibility in the first 45 minutes from us. I think Anderson, the only one for me, really, I felt was trying to really do something. I thought Rice was playing really well as well, but Anderson was the only one in the final third that was actually trying to make something happen. We were playing tactics for Andy Carroll in the box, but Andy Carroll was not even on the pitch, and it was a bit strange. We kept trying these crosses, but you've got to give Palace slight credit for that, because that's the only place we were finding space. They were forcing us down the wing, and when we did go down it, they were doubling up on us down the wing. So we were playing into their hands a little bit. I felt they were getting under our skin with their time wasting. They were time wasting as soon as they scored. They were taking ages, every set piece. But you know something, it works. You could hear the home fans getting frustrated. You could see our players getting frustrated. And it was just that their game plan was working perfectly at this point, because it sort of, every time we tried to get into the flow of something, Palace would get a free kick, and they changed who was taking free kick about 3 times in order to use up time, and it just broke us up completely. But at half-time, Andy Carroll come on for Perez. Charlie, we didn't have to wait long. He finally scored his first Premier League goal for West Ham, Robert Snodgrass, and, well, it was an effort worth waiting for.
Yeah, it was. It was a really, really good finish. And like I said, in that first half, I felt like, not that he didn't care, but there was just something missing. He didn't seem to be putting in, or he didn't seem to be having as much effect on the game as he has been over recent times, and then came straight out and got one opportunity and put it in. And I had to watch the replay 2 or 3 times just to check it didn't deflect off someone, because I thought it's incredibly impressive to get it up and down so close to the goal in that quick manner and place it and get it around all the defenders without touching any of them. It was a great finish. It was a great finish.
Mike, is that what the kind of goal we were going to need in order to get the breakthrough today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we came out immediately better in the second half, right? I thought we were moving the ball quicker. We moved the ball very slowly in the first half. Our passing was laboured. We immediately looked like we were passing quicker and fast, and moving the ball much faster. And if you look at the difference between West Ham and who've beaten Palace now, the last game against Cardiff and game before that against Newcastle, we had too much quality for those teams, and that's why we beat them. And if you look at that goal, that is exactly the sort of quality you're looking at. A player like Snodgrass who can pull that out the hat. I mean, it was, and what a way to score your first goal for the club in the league, It was an absolute belt. I, like Charlie, assumed it had been deflected on first viewing. It just came down so rapidly. But there you go. We can do it. We have players that can pull out that bit of quality. Normally from Snodgrass, it's a quality cross, isn't it? From someone like Hernandez to score from 3 feet out. But today he actually took responsibility. You mentioned that earlier. I went, right, I'm having this, and it's in. And from that point on, we didn't look back.
Yeah, first half, obviously, we were struggling. We were struggling to do something. I can't remember us having a shot from distance in the first half, in all honesty. We were intent on scoring from the penalty spot or closer. So it was good to see us finally get someone to have an effort. And like you two have said, I thought it took a deflection because the way the ball moves, it's a strange effort at a goal, actually. You could try that another 10 times and he won't be able to hit it as sweet as he did there. It was a very, very good finish from Snodgrass. We didn't have to wait long before we were in the lead, though, Charlie. A free kick. Andy Carroll finally made an impact. He won the free kick. Anderson. What I will say, though, is what is Wayne Hennessy doing here, Charlie? Because Anderson's effort sort of hits the middle of the goal, but Hennessy's a full stretch. But credit to Hernandez. It's one of these finishes that looks easy, but I think is very, very difficult.
Yeah, on his weak foot as well, to take it that quickly is very, very difficult. The free kick, as you alluded to, wasn't very good. It was fine, but I think Hennessy was maybe expecting like the Payet opposite side thing, and it just didn't happen. It was really close to the middle of the goal, and he should be catching that. But as you say, Hernandez, he does the right thing in reacting and just following the ball in, which is, again, what every striker should be doing. It's just basic stuff, but if you follow the ball into the area, you're probably going to get a chance. And to hit it first time on his weak foot, in a situation where he could be like completely off balance as well, to just finish it as convincingly as he did there is a very impressive thing. And it's the exact thing we bought Hernandez for. That's what Hernandez's bread and butter is putting the ball inside the net in those sort of situations. You have the confidence that he's going to do it. And he finally managed to do it. It took him basically the half. He had maybe 1 or 2 half chances before that, but that was convincing and that was a great finish.
After an hour not doing much, Mike, does this goal sum up Hernandez for you?
Yeah, I mean that's why you have him, isn't it? It's to you could see him if you watch replay. We're looking across the line of that wall, making sure he's onside, just as that, and he's facing the ball, and just as it's kicked, he looks across and he's spun it in. And what do you know? You follow those sort of things. He follows those through every time. Eventually, one of them's going to fall on your lap. And you're right, not the easiest finish because the ball was spinning quite viciously once it came back off Hennessy. If you look, it spins up at him. So it's at an awkward angle. It would have been really easy for him to wallop that over a bar. I think a lesser player would have done that as well. But his composure is really good, isn't it? And he's just he's controlled it almost into the roof of the net. Well played. But that's exactly why you have him on the pitch, and they go, you're 2-1 up. He's worth having in there for that.
49 goals in the Premier League for Chicharito, and 49 of them have come inside the 18-yard box. That'll come as no surprise. I think Hennessy's to blame for this one. If I was a Crystal Palace fan, I'd be fuming at my keeper here. How he can stand with that much of the goal to the side of him. He basically says to Anderson, if you can hit the target from there over there, there's a good chance it's going in. Anderson, there's no challenge in the free kick for Anderson. All he has to do is get it over the wall, and he's got such a big space to aim for. And it's on target, but it's not an amazing free kick. That should be bread and butter for a goalkeeper, saving that. But he makes it difficult for himself. But it's fantastic by Hernandez because Mike's right. He's running as soon as the ball struck. So Hernandez is already sprinting and he doesn't know where the ball is going to go. He's just running, and then he has to change everything. He has to change his body, etc. It's weak foot, first touch, and it's a very good finish. And just 2 minutes later, though, Mike, we thought Snodgrass's goal was good. Well, we were stretching Palace apart at this point, but what an absolute finish from Anderson, who's really starting to shine now.
Yeah, I think Anderson's settling in period's coming to an end, isn't it? I still think he's going to get better. I still don't think we're seeing the best of him, and he's beginning to look like he looks like someone who's worth £40 million now, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's starting to look like good. But I actually think he'll get better again as the season goes on. But he's been consistently a very good player for us at the moment. He's just, his confidence is now through the sky, isn't it? You can see he's been playing well for a few games. And it was a lovely ball out to him. Did you see who played it? I think it was Snodgrass, was it, who put him in, who saw him there in space. And that Wan-Bissaka had gone missing. Why you wouldn't stay with Anderson and leave him with that much room, I don't know. One touch get out from his feet, looks up, top corner. And it's rare that Snodgrass' goal doesn't win goal of the game, but I think he's lost it there to Anderson. That was beautiful because it actually curls outside the post, doesn't it, and into the top corner. Lovely goal from a very good player, you have to say.
It was Hernandez that played out to him, actually. So the Mexican got an assist as well as a goal. Charlie, he's in fine confidence. You need to be confident to take on an effort like that. But he's probably one of only maybe 2 or 3 players in our squad that could do a finish like that.
Yeah, and we talk about how Hennessy probably could have done better with the Hernandez goal. There's nothing he could have done with that. It was that good. As the ball came to him, I saw it and I was like, do you know what? I have full confidence he can just shape his body and curl this one into the top corner without any real trouble. And then he did it absolutely inch perfectly, and it was almost expected. And he's been playing so well of late, and he's started to step up, as you both said, that we're starting to feel that confidence with him, that when he has the ball in that position, you can just go, okay, he's going to put it in top bins now. It's not going to be that much of a thing. He's just going to do it. And once you have a player of that caliber, it's missing someone like Arnautovic doesn't become as big of a problem because we have someone who can consistently create like that and can score goals as spectacular as that out of almost nothing.
Well, Charlie, we were never going to make it easy enough for ourselves. In the 75th minute, we let Crystal Palace back in a quick set piece from them over on the left. In it came. Schlupp, it was reasonably a free header. Andy Carroll was attempting to volley it with his right foot for some reason when Schlupp got the header. But we made it difficult for ourselves, would you say, Charlie? And for the rest of the game, really.
Yeah, and we sort of reverted back into ourselves when we were in full flow attacking before we'd made the sub with Obiang and that. We looked actually like if there was a team who was going to score, it would have been us. I expected a fourth to go in. I thought we could have gone on and actually put the game to bed even more than we did. But we did revert defensively. Andy Carroll was about as deep as a striker could possibly be. And we made it incredibly hard for ourselves, way harder than it should have been, because if we're honest, I think Palace were done. I don't think they had much in their locker, and it took a sort of long drifted ball into the box and a relatively lucky header on Mark to actually get a goal back. So I thought we should have actually gone further and put the game to bed, but fair play by Schlupp. It's a decent header.
It finished 3-2. Mike, was that a big test and more importantly, a big win for us today?
It was a big win for us. I don't think it was that big a test. I think we made harder work of what should have been an easier victory, because I don't think Palace are very good, and as we said in the preview, and we've just got 3 goals to the 3rd game in a row. We've won 3 in a row. God knows the last. It's 2016 when we did that last. We look composed. We look threatening when we attack. I mean, I agree with Charlie. I mean, basically, the minute they went to 3-2, we suddenly went back into our shell. And before that, I thought we were going to get another one. I really did. And when we start playing, when we really are, when we're purring, we're really good now. We look like a really good side. But it wasn't a game I thought we would win, and we did win. But we're beginning to win those games we should win, and that's crucial for us, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Charlie, what's your overall thoughts on the victory?
I'm happy. I feel like we could have and probably should have done better, but at the end of the day, when you are a bit dodgy like we were in the first half and the last sort of 10 minutes, and yet we still get a relatively convincing victory with some outstanding goals, I think it's impossible not to be happy. And we go into the run of fixtures again, this run of fixtures where we should and possibly could be winning consistently. We're going into it with full confidence, and as Mike just said, when we do play with confidence, when we are getting full flow, we are a very, very good team all of a sudden. And so I'm very, very confident going into it, and I'm happy that we've actually managed to secure it no matter how difficult we made it for ourselves.
My concern is set pieces. Our last 3 goals now, we can see the 3 in the last 3. They've all come from set pieces and all different set pieces. Cardiff was a corner. Our first one today was a long free kick, and the second one today was a quick free kick that got crossed in, etc. I don't know if we're disorganised or what, but there's something funny going on. And even today, why it was Masuaku marking Tompkins, I have no idea. If maybe Rice was meant to be marking him and Tompkins has come off Rice and gone on to Masuaku, I don't know. But then that's someone's fault there. There's no way Masuaku should be being challenged by Tompkins. He's probably, him and Sako are probably their 2 biggest threats on the park. And for some reason, we had someone who, I can't remember him winning much headers, to be perfectly honest. Marking him was a bit strange. So set pieces are a concern. I agree with Charlie in the sense that I thought we had them against the ropes. At 3-1, I think if we kept punching, I think we would have maybe made it 4 and stuff. The crowd were up for it as well. And I think Pellegrini's subs were a little bit negative, if you like. He took off Hernandez and then he put on Diangana. I kind of get that, but then he took on Obiang. Then all of a sudden, Van Noble is the support for Andy Carroll. And I thought, oh, this is a bit David Moyes-esque, the way we finished the game, if you like. And it was just a shame to see. I think maybe Pellegrini wasn't confident we were going to see it out. And I can understand why, given the first 70 minutes performance. He probably thought we were vulnerable at the back and he needed to just see out the win. And that's what we did. But I thought today was a big test for a different reason, because I don't think we played at the top of our game. We've played a lot better than that. But if you can play, with 6 of your 11 turning out and still get at home to someone you're competing with for a league position, then you've got something about you, I think. But Mike, how good is it to see us when we do have the shackles off? It was only for a 15-minute spell today, but like Cardiff, it was a 15-minute spell and we capitalised on it and we looked good.
When we play like that, we really are a very good team. We're a top half of the table team, aren't we? We really do look like that. I agree. They've gone back to the subs. I agree with you. They weren't quite negative, but I've got a feeling it's tiredness as well. We just played 3 games in a week, and we'd started with pretty much the same lineup in every game. Where he did some rotating for Cardiff, but at the defence, but outfield, up the pitch, it was pretty much the same team. And I think Anderson did begin to look a little bit tired. I kind of get why he's done that for that reason as well. Plus, as you say, we did start to withdraw into our shell a bit. When we play, though, when we flow, we are a really good team. We really surprise teams with the way we pass. And it's just that our passing is so good now. Anderson, let's bring him up again. He's not that robust, strong, powerful winger type that goes flying past people. It's his touch and although he is deceptively quick, it's his touch and passing those little balls inside that he does, let alone that curling finish. He's a really technically excellent player. Snodgrass has really come on under Pellegrini and is turning into another technically really good player. There's a lot of very good technicians. When they flow, they're really hard to stop.
Charlie, we've scored 3 goals for 3 games now. Is this what it's about for being like West Ham? Are we becoming, in your opinion, do you think we're becoming a fear team, a bit like Bournemouth were at the start of the season, perhaps?
Yeah, and I think it's difficult for people to know how to deal with us, especially when we're playing 2 up front and with Snodgrass and Anderson both coming inwards diagonally as well. And then you've got also the overlapping. I think we become a very, very difficult team to deal with. I remember that first season under Bilic, when we would counter-attack, there were times where like City, Chelsea, Arsenal, all the big teams didn't know how to deal with us because we were coming at them with so many decent players so quick. And it's very similar to that. We're not playing with that same sort of attacking pace as we were under Bilic, but when we come towards and we get like 4 players in and around the box with, say, Noble or whoever sort of following up in the rear, we look really, really dangerous. And it's becoming increasingly difficult for teams to just spot out Marko Arnautovic and go, if we kill him, then West Ham will not win. We didn't have him today. We had 2 strikers who have been our backup ones. We had Andy Carroll coming on. We had Robert Snodgrass, who wasn't even in the first team last year, and we're still banging 3 against teams quite easily, and we should have got more. So it's such a good sign to see us actually putting teams to the sword and actually being able to give them something to think about and make them worry about who they're actually going to deal with, as opposed to just picking out the 1-star player and then just nullifying our game.
Individual players time, Charlie, would you like to take your pick? Praise or criticise? Take your pick.
You mentioned here, but I think Rice had a really good game. It's weird because he's not dropping as deep as he usually does when we're on the attack, just because Noble's the one who drops deep and starts the attack. But even then, there were times today where he was marauding forward. Diop's done it a couple of times in the last couple of games, but today he came charging forward, and Crystal Palace almost didn't know how to stop him in a way. He's not got that final pass in him to create something out of it, but the fact that he's got the confidence to do that in the team is a very, very good sign. And I think defensively he was very good as well. There were a couple of tackles there which were really genuinely brilliant tackles. And then the other big one again, Felipe Anderson, I think, is just continuing to get better and better. And as Mike said, I actually think he's still got I think there's another level he can step to again yet. And that's incredibly exciting.
Mike?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the most pleasing performances for me today out there on the pitch was that of Cheku Kouyaté. Yes, folks, he was actually in the team for Crystal Palace. Nice to see him jogging in a circle in the middle of the pitch, not doing anything once again. Cheers, Cheku. Thanks for the memories. For us, I agree. I thought Rice was very, very good again today. Anderson, obviously. Snodgrass in the second half was very good. I thought they were frightened of Hernandez right the way through the game. I thought they were really worried by his movement, and of course he did score a goal. And Zabaleta, remember after years of Zabaleta against Zaha? Zaha ended up fouling him and getting booked for it, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? And towards the end of the game, I thought Zabaleta was really good as well today.
I'm going to start with one player I'm going to half criticise here, just so I can end on a positive. I'm struggling to see Andy Carroll fitting into Pellegrini's style, really. I thought when he come on, I thought, oh, this could be good. We didn't cross the ball for him, and there's a couple of times where he just gets the ball. I feel like he slows play down a little bit. We're counter-attacking. It goes to Carroll, and what should be a one-touch pass thing, he takes about 3 or 4 touches, and it just looks a bit clumsy, if you like. I'm just hoping it's rust. I'm just hoping once he gets going, he gets more game time. He'll sort of get with the flow of Pellegrini, etc., etc. But from what I've seen today, Cardiff, I gave him a pass because he came on when we were 2-0 up. I thought the game was finished. There was no way he could do that. But today he came on when we were getting beat. It's a perfect opportunity for Andy Carroll. He couldn't have wanted a better scenario to come on. Even 0-0 would have been worse for Carroll. So getting beat 1-0 against Crystal Palace, best case scenario for him to come on. And yes, he won the free kick for our second goal. But apart from that, I don't think he impacted it much. I know he had a defensive header at one point, but then swings and roundabouts because the ball got, I think it was him that booted the ball up actually, to where he should have been standing. So you know, I know he can't be in 2 places at once, but I just, it's going to be a concern of mine if we obviously don't have Ivanovic. We've got Hernandez and Perez. Perez was very quiet, I thought. So who do we start against Fulham? The guy that doesn't really fit in Pellegrini's style, the guy who's had a really quiet half. It's not an easy decision. Or do we do curveball and bring on Antonio or something? I'm not sure. But in terms of performance, I thought Rice was really, really good. Didn't put a foot wrong. But Wan-Bissaka was having a bit too much joy down that right-hand side for the first half hour, but Rice soon put a tackle in on him. Now, it didn't hurt Wan-Bissaka, but he just went in, swooped round. He ended up standing up with the ball at his feet and running away with it. Wan-Bissaka, you could see stand there thinking, where the bloody hell that guy just come from? And it quieted Wan-Bissaka down completely, because I thought up until that point he was running the show, and out the whole pitch, I thought he was the best player. But Anderson is just becoming more and more important to us. He's probably the first name on the team sheet now, along with Rice, actually. And it's good to see now. He is going to go quiet. He's going to have games where I think his confidence might fade a little bit. He's going to be inconsistent. But I think now the fans will give him that time and patience, because we'll think, well, eventually we'll see him become good again. Whereas at the start of the season, we've never seen the good side of him, so we didn't know what we were waiting for. We now know what we're waiting for. And that goal was just come May when we're picking our goal of the season or something, that's definitely going to be a contender. Mike, any final thoughts from yourself? And may I have your man of match?
Yeah, on the Andy Carroll thing you mentioned, you're quite right to mention he does not fit into the Pellegrini team. I suspect he's been fattened up for the Christmas sales. Right? I think they're getting him match fit, demonstrating that he's match fit in order to ship him out. I really hope so. Anyway, discount price towards the end of his contract. Off you go, mate. My man of the match, I'm going to give it to Zabaleta for his performance against Zaha today. I thought he was really good again.
Charlie, your final thoughts on your man of match, please.
I'm just happy that we've got 3 wins on the bounce. It's weird. I'm not used to it. I feel a bit odd. I feel a bit queasy, but it's great. I can't. It's getting to the point where I'm actually excited for the next game, which is very weird to say, but I am, and I think we're going to continue to do really well in those games. And as for man of match, it's got to be Anderson for me. Like you say, I think he was the one really trying to create something in that first half attacking wise. I think he did fine in that first half, but was struggling with the people around him almost. They didn't seem to have that edge, but in that second half again, he just continues to step up. And although he came off early, I think just rest him, because in the next game, I think he's just going to be just as good. And it's exciting time to be a West Ham fan.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a different one from you two for man of match, which is probably, I don't know, that's a good thing or a bad thing, because part of me thinks it's a good thing we've got so many good performers, but I think part of me thinks none of them were really 10 out of 10 today. Nobody was 9 out of 10. Everybody had a good game or an okay game, but no one excelled, in my opinion. But like I said, if you can do that and get 3 points, you've got something about you. And what a joy it is to watch us with the shackles off. And I just love the way that when we we scored one, we went straight after and got the other one. And when we got the other one, 2 minutes later, we had the third one. It's good to see us doing this. We've got to get the team against the ropes. We keep punching. Too often in past, we have gone 2-1 up and we've gone, crap, everyone on our own 18-yarder. We would have been doing what Palace were doing in the first half. If Palace kept coming at us after they scored, it might have been a different game, but they didn't. Their mindset was, the Roy Hodgson mindset was, we've scored one, let's defend for 85 minutes and win 1-0. It's not going to happen in the Premier League when you're facing a team with the likes of Anderson, etc. Did Roy Hodgson genuinely think they were going to hold out for a 1-0 against us? You know, at half-time, he's probably walking in thinking my master plan's working here. Well, it was, but still 45 minutes to go. And we have been used to that concept for the last couple of seasons. We have been used to witnessing that. And what a joy it is to be on the other end of it, where we're battering you. And Crystal Palace fans are feeling what we felt last season, because as soon as we scored, I bet they all went, there it goes. We knew this was coming. And as soon as the second, third went in, their fans would have said, yeah, not surprised anymore. This is what happens when we sit back. But it's an absolute pleasure to watch a manager who encourages his side to just keep hitting them, keep throwing the punches, etc. But it's three wins on the bounce. We've not done it for years now. We've scored 3 goals in 3 games, and I'm sure it's the first time we've done that. It's decades since we've scored 3 goals in 3 games or something. I can't remember what year it was. I did see it earlier. But my man match is Snodgrass. I thought, did you see Van Aanholt in the first half at all? No, you didn't, because Snodgrass was tracking him exceptionally well. He nullified one of their biggest threats on the pitch, while Anderson had a good game. Wan-Bissaka, I thought, was very influential on the other side of the pitch, who was Anderson's man. And Snodgrass got his goal. Delighted to see him. I've been one of his biggest critics, even up until a few weeks ago. I still wasn't sure if he was good enough. I thought he worked hard, etc. But did he have the talent? Well, today we saw the talent from Snodgrass. That goal was perfect. And another brilliant performance. But Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Charlie, I'll see you very soon.
See you soon.
And the last time we scored 3 goals in 3 games in a row was 1982. So it's been a while, but we're getting there. Under the Pellegrini, the goals are flowing. I think in half these games now, we have scored at least 3 goals. Well, this is champagne football. I've been Jill, that's been Mike, that's been Charlie, been Ham's chat. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. You probably won't have it. You're a Crystal Palace fan. And subscribe if you're new around here. You probably won't if you're a Crystal Palace fan. See you.